Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. From time to time on the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, we have AMA episodes. That is, Ask Me Anything. I love to answer your questions. If you have a question you think is going to be of broad interest, send it in. I'll answer it live on the air. Send your questions to victor@victorjm.com. That's victor@victorjm.com. Here's a warning. Today's show contains a real-life story that some listeners may find disturbing. On today's show, we're talking about how to maximize profit. Profit, simply calculated, is revenue minus expenses. You can increase profit by increasing revenues or by reducing expenses. Often, it's tempting to reduce expenses. When something needs to be done on a project, you can hire an expert, which could be costly, or if the work is simple, do it yourself. I'm here to tell you that doing it yourself is the path to ruin. On today's show, we have a cautionary tale about Tony, a pilot with 21,000 hours of flight experience. Tony had a number of trees on his property that needed pruning, but the tree cutting service was going to charge $600 per tree. He did the math and decided to rent a professional cherry picker. These are those machines that hoist you high in the air in the safety of a bucket. Most of the controls are at your fingertips, and joystick control makes it quite easy to position the basket exactly where you need it. At one point, the cherry picker detected the beginnings of instability. When that happens, the joystick controls are disabled and the cherry picker stops working altogether. The only problem is that Tony was by himself. The only way to fix it is to use the manual crank at the base of the cherry picker. But Tony was 30 feet up in the air and he was by himself. Rather than call for help, Tony decided to try and jump onto the roof of the house, which was quite close by. Only he missed the house and fell to the ground. Sadly, Tony did not survive the fall. Now, folks, this is a real-life story. It happened about a week ago, about a man who made a series of bad decisions. It's a story about a wife who lost a husband, about children who lost their dad. There's so much do-it-yourself mentality in our culture. We're taught to do it yourself at school. We're taught to get a job. On the job, we're taught to do the work. Even if you didn't do something involving heights, I'm sure you can relate to Tony's lapse of judgment. Maybe you decided to do a quick and easy plumbing repair rather than call a professional. Maybe you cut your own grass. And here's the crazy part. Tony was a pilot, someone who had safety drilled into him throughout his entire career. He had 21,000 hours of experience. If there was anybody on the planet who knew about how to do things safely, it would be Tony. And yet, here he made a fatal lapse in judgment. Overwhelmingly, when I think about increasing profits, I don't think about reducing expenses. I think about increasing revenue. You can hire the skills to do the work. You can increase the revenue to pay for the work. You can't recover the time it took to do the work, and certainly from a quality perspective, there's no way that you're going to match the quality of a professional. As you think about that, my heart goes out to Tony and his family. Have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.